Right then, Broncos country. Brace yourselves because things have just got absolutely mental here in Denver. What I'm about to tell you lot is going to send everyone barmy, and I'm warning you now. This move could completely change our season. We've barely finished celebrating that solid victory against the Tennessee Titans 20-12, and Sean Payton's already moving the pieces on the chessboard. And family, when I say moving, it's because our gaffer has made a play that's going to leave everyone gobsmacked. You remember how Sean Payton's always banging on about having a plan? Well, he's just executed another part of that plan that could revolutionize our attack. And the best bit, he's brought to Broncos country a player who's got everything to do with the DNA that Payton wants to implement here in Denver. But before I drop this absolute bombshell on you, let me ask you this. Do you reckon a player who's only 5'6" can make a difference in a league where the Giants rule the roost? Because that's exactly what we're going to find out together today. The Denver Broncos family has just gained reinforcement with a very specific characteristic that Sean Payton absolutely loves working with. And when I tell you what that characteristic is, you'll understand why this move makes complete sense within the game philosophy our manager is building. The Denver Broncos have just signed Christopher Deuce Vaughn, a running back who was available on the market after spending 2 seasons with the Dallas Cowboys. But family, this isn't just any old running back. Vaughn is a player who carries with him an impressive track record and similarities to a bloke that Sean Payton knows very well indeed. Let's start with the numbers, because they don't lie. Vaughn, who'll turn 24 in November, racked up 110 rushing yards on 40 carries during his NFL career. Might seem a bit modest to some, but Broncos country needs to understand the context behind those figures. This lad was picked by the Cowboys in the 6th round of the 2023 draft, coming straight from Kansas State, where he was an absolute phenomenon. During his final 2 seasons at university, Vaughn ran for a stonking 2,912 yards and was responsible for 34 total touchdowns. That's elite-level production, family. But what really caught my attention about this signing wasn't just the numbers, it was the timing. The Broncos signed Vaughn right after our victory against the Titans, which suggests that Sean Payton saw something specific in that match that made him want this type of player on the roster. And here's where it gets interesting. Broncos country. Vaughn was in Denver last week for a workout. That's right, Sean Payton and our front office had been eyeing him up for a while. It wasn't a last-minute decision. It was planned, studied, calculated, exactly how our manager likes to do things. Vaughn's agent, Jovan Barnes, made a statement that shows the level of professionalism this lad has. He said Vaughn is a tireless worker and that there's a natural connection with what the Broncos are looking for. When an agent speaks like that about his client, we know we're dealing with someone special. But, family, now comes the part that's going to make you understand why this signing is brilliant. Vaughn stands 5'6", tall, making him currently the shortest active player in the NFL. And guess who else had that height and was one of Sean Payton's favorite players? Darren Sproles. That's right. Broncos country. Sean Payton himself has said publicly that if he could add one of his former players to the 2025 Broncos roster, it would be exactly Darren Sproles. And now he's found very similar characteristics in Vaughn. Sproles, who also stood 5'6", was a fundamental piece in Sean Payton's attack during the years 2011 to 2013 with the Saints. In just 3 seasons under Payton's command, Sproles accumulated over 420 touches, totaling 3,048 yards and 21 touchdowns. And most importantly, he won a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles in 2017. Payton always refers to players like Sproles as the Joker in his attack. That's the versatile piece that can come out of the backfield, line up as a wide receiver, return punts, do whatever the game demands. It's a player that forces opposing defenses to constantly adapt, because they never know what to expect. And family, when we look at our current roster, it makes complete sense. We've got players like J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey who already perform similar functions, but Vaughn brings a different dimension. He's got that explosive agility that could be the difference maker in specific situations. What's interesting is that during the Cowboys' last preseason match, Vaughn ran for 42 yards, showing he's still got plenty in the tank. And now he'll have the opportunity to work with a manager who knows exactly how to extract the best from this type of player. If you're proper Broncos country, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single moment of this season that promises to be historic. Because with Sean Payton making these strategic moves, every week we've got news that could change everything. But back to Vaughn, family. It's important to understand that this signing goes beyond the numbers. It's about game philosophy. Sean Payton is building an attack where versatility is fundamental. He wants players who can perform multiple functions, who keep defenses constantly guessing. And look at this interesting bit. Vaughn was signed to the practice squad, not directly to the main roster. This shows that the Broncos want to work with him, develop his adaptation to the system before putting him on the field. It's a clever approach that demonstrates long-term planning. Vaughn's father is a Cowboy scout, so this lad grew up breathing American football. He understands the game differently, has that tactical vision that comes from birth. And now he'll be able to apply all that knowledge in a system that values exactly these characteristics. Broncos country, have you noticed how Sean Payton is building something special? Every move, every signing, every decision is connected to a bigger vision. He's not just putting together a team, he's creating an identity. Vaughn's versatility could be especially useful in third-down situations, where his agility can create mismatches against bigger linebackers. In the red zone, where space is limited, his short stature could be an advantage for finding gaps that other running backs couldn't manage. And family, let's talk about what this means for our next match against the Indianapolis Colts. It's possible that Vaughn might already be promoted and get his first opportunities wearing the orange and blue. Imagine the excitement of seeing this lad make his debut in Broncos country. What impresses me most about this signing is how it fits perfectly into Sean Payton's philosophy. Remember, our manager has always said he wants an unpredictable attack that keeps defenses constantly on alert. With Vaughn in the squad, we gain another weapon in that arsenal. 2 years of NFL experience has already given Vaughn the necessary knowledge about the league's level of play. He's no longer a rookie trying to adapt. He's a player who understands the pace, the intensity, the complexity of professional American football. And Broncos country, you know what gets me most excited? It's knowing that Sean Payton saw something special in this lad. Our manager doesn't make random moves. Every decision has a purpose, a strategic reason behind it. When we look at Darren Sproles' career under Payton's command, we see how a player with these characteristics can be transformational. Sproles wasn't just a running back, he was a game changer. Someone capable of changing the course of a match in a single play. That's exactly what Vaughn could represent for us. A piece that adds a completely new dimension to our attack. A weapon that can be used creatively, keeping opposing defensive coordinators constantly thinking. Kansas State developed this lad brilliantly. During his university years, he showed consistency, productivity, and most importantly, the ability to make important plays in crucial moments. These are characteristics that translate well to the professional level. Family, can you imagine the tactical possibilities that open up with Vaughn on the roster? Trips formations with him lined up as a slot receiver, draws where his short stature makes it difficult for defensive backs to spot, screens where his agility can exploit spaces. And there's an important detail we can't ignore. The signing happened right after our victory against the Titans. This suggests that Sean Payton identified something specific in that game that convinced him he needed this type of player. Perhaps it was a specific situation where a smaller, more agile player could have made the difference. Or perhaps it was confirmation that our attack needs that extra versatility to reach the next level. Broncos country. It's important to understand that this isn't just a running back signing. It's adding a specific tool that Sean Payton wants to have at his disposal, a piece that can be used at strategic moments to create tactical advantages. Vaughn's experience with the Cowboys is also valuable. He played in a high-level organization, learned from elite professionals, understood how the dynamics of a winning dressing room work. All of this he brings to Denver. And family, let's talk about this lad's mentality. Being the shortest player in the league and still remaining competitive in the NFL shows an impressive level of determination. You need unshakable confidence to play at this level while being smaller than all your opponents. This mentality is exactly what Broncos country values. Players who don't let themselves be intimidated, who find ways to overcome physical limitations through technique, intelligence, and dedication. Vaughn's versatility could be especially useful in our division, where we face physical and aggressive defenses. Kansas City, Las Vegas, Los Angeles Chargers, they all have defenses that could be exploited by a player with Vaughn's characteristics. Imagine Vaughn in a 2-minute drill situation where we need quick and efficient first downs. His agility to get out of the pocket, find empty spaces, and secure the down could be fundamental in decisive moments. And Broncos country, don't forget that Sean Payton is a master at using creative personnel packages. With Vaughn available, he gains another option to confuse opposing defenses about what the next play will be. Developing Vaughn on the practice squad also allows the coaches to work specifically on the nuances of Sean Payton's system. Every concept, every route, every responsibility can be refined before he takes the field. Family, this signing shows that our front office is always alert to opportunities to improve the roster. Even after a victory, they continue looking for ways to strengthen the team. This winning mentality is what sets us apart. The connection between Vaughn and Sean Payton through the comparison with Sproles isn't coincidental. It's recognition that certain characteristics transcend physical limitations when properly utilized by a manager who understands how to maximize them. And you know what excites me most, Broncos country? It's thinking about the possibilities for special packages where Vaughn can be used, specific situations where his unique abilities can create real problems for opposing defenses. Vaughn's university experience at Kansas State is also relevant. He played in a competitive program, faced high-level defenses, learned to produce under pressure. All this baggage is now at the Broncos' disposal. When we analyze the 34 total touchdowns he scored in his final 2 university seasons, we see a player who knows how to find the end zone. That's instinct, something you can't teach. Either you've got it or you haven't. Broncos country, Vaughn's signing also demonstrates that Sean Payton is confident in the development of our running game. He's adding tools because he believes he can use all of them effectively. Adaptation to the Broncos system will be crucial for Vaughn's success. But with guidance from Sean Payton, who's already proved he knows how to work with players of similar profile, the chances of success are high. And family, don't forget we're talking about a player who's only 23. Vaughn still has loads of room for growth, plenty of potential to be explored. Under Sean Payton's tutelage, he could reach levels we can't even imagine. The depth we gain in the backfield with this signing is also important. Having different options allows Sean Payton to be more creative in his calls, more unpredictable. In his formations, imagine the possibilities in punt return situations where Vaughn's agility can create favorable field position opportunities. Every yard matters in the NFL, and having someone capable of maximizing these opportunities is valuable. Broncos country, this signing also shows that our organization isn't satisfied with just the present. We're always thinking about the future, always looking for ways to improve our competitive potential. The chemistry that Vaughn can develop with our offensive line will be fundamental. Smaller running backs need precision in blocks, perfect timing in openings. Our line has shown the ability to create these types of opportunities. And family, let's talk about the psychological impact that a player like Vaughn can have on opposing defenses. When you have to prepare for players with such different characteristics, the complexity of the game plan increases exponentially. Vaughn's positional versatility also allows him to be used as a surprise element. Formations where he can line up as a receiver, as wingback, as traditional running back. All this keeps defensive coordinators constantly alert. When we look at the Broncos' upcoming opponents, we see how Vaughn could be especially useful against certain defenses. Indianapolis Colts, our next opponent, have defensive characteristics that could be exploited by a player of his profile. Broncos country. The patience shown by the Broncos in this signing is also admirable. Instead of making a desperate signing, they observed, evaluated, brought the player in for a workout, and only then made the decision. This professional methodology is what distinguishes winning organizations. Every move is calculated, every decision is based on concrete information, not on impulses or external pressures. Incorporating Vaughn into the practice squad also allows him to gradually adapt to the Broncos' culture, to Sean Payton's methods, to the organization's expectations. There's no rush, there's planning and family. We can't forget that Sean Payton has a proven track record of developing talent. Players who arrive with potential and leave transformed into fundamental pieces of explosive attacks. Vaughn's experience with special teams is also valuable. In the NFL, particularly for practice squad players, the ability to contribute in multiple phases of the game significantly increases promotion chances. Broncos country. When you see Vaughn for the first time on the field wearing our shirt, remember this moment. Remember when Sean Payton decided he needed this specific piece to complete his offensive jigsaw puzzle. The confidence that the coaching staff places in Vaughn was evident in the speed of the signing. When an organization acts like this, it's because they've identified something special in the player and family. Let's be realistic. The NFL is a league where small advantages make big differences. Having a player like Vaughn available could be the difference maker in specific situations during the season. Sean Payton's ability to maximize the potential of unique players has already been proven throughout his career. With Vaughn, he has another opportunity to demonstrate this special ability. Broncos country, this signing represents more than just adding depth to the roster. It represents the continuation of a vision, of a plan that's being executed methodically by our leadership. The perfect timing of this signing, right after an important victory, shows that our organization doesn't get complacent with success. We're always looking for ways to improve, always planning the next step. So then, Denver Broncos family, what do you make of this move by Sean Payton? Do you reckon Vaughn can be our new Darren Sproles? Will he manage to make a difference against the Colts next week? Comment below which position you think he'll be most useful for our attack. Hit the like if you're buzzing about this signing, share it with all your Broncos country mates, and stay tuned because every week there's exclusive content about our orange and blue family. Until the next video, Broncos country.